And we are live. Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. As you can see, John is not here.
Again.
Funny little story about our good friend John. So, John got himself the Rona about a month ago,
Again.
and he had to miss a show or two, and then he got it again about a week ago, and he's just so
Sick.
tough that he didn't want to go to the hospital, and it ended up getting pretty bad. So we kind of nagged his ass until he got himself the infusion and the monoclonal antibodies, and he's on the mend. He's doing okay. So we're hoping he'll be back for the next show. So John, if you're out there, buddy, get better.
Like I'm not.
Stop being a doofus. As you can see, we're at a different spot. This is still the Merchant, but now we're in the back room. We're in the VIP room, the VIPs.
Yeah.
The most important people, and so we're here to bring you the show in John's absence, since we really didn't know what to do because we don't have his equipment. We were going to keep it small scale. So what we're doing is
Does anyone can turn the overhead lighting off?
The lady of the leaf here has picked a mystery stick, and we're going to see if I can. There's Spencer, or my newly adopted son.
Oh God.
Let's see if we turn it this way a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move that
We
way.
got a little glare issue,
Yeah.
but
Okay, we'll switch.
we're doing the best that we can here.
All right. So first, we're making cocktails.
And we're making cocktails. Okay,
We're
so
making it down the hatch, which is a whiskey-based cocktail, citrus. I thought it would go really well with your chosen stick because I like the citrus tang. So I am using a Redemption wheated bourbon instead of the high rye that would have typically been used. I'm not a huge rye fan, and I don't think Alex is either. So I went with the wheated instead. Still a bit of rye, but
I can handle a good rye. But generally no, more into straight bourbons and wheats. Housekeeping though, I do want to give a shout out to our friends up north, the Not Generally Cigar Smokers magazine. They're wrapping up their Cabo trip, so they'll be going back to the Great White North.
We're wrapping it up. We're just coming back.
5-week vacation. It's no big deal.
7 years later.
We've got some new things in the works with them. We're bringing in a new studio for our photographs, so we're expecting to have some really cool pictures to accompany the write-ups. So keep a lookout for that. I believe the next stick has already been decided. It should be coming out in a couple of weeks.
Oh, it has.
We get all the things taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we start with 2 ounces of the rye or the wheated whiskey. 2 ounces in your cup.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do lemon juice, but because I'm a pleb and didn't get fresh lemons yesterday like I was supposed to, we're doing actual lemon juice. 3/4 of an ounce.
Actual lemon juice. This is part like cigar show, part cooking show. This is almost like that. What was that bottle blonde with the big jugs who always drank a lot when she cooked?
Excuse me. That is so not my style. She everything came from a box. She'd be like, "How do you make this fancy?" I don't know. Actually, can't remember what her name is. I used to watch her.
Sandra.
Yeah. Sandra Lee? No.
I don't.
Sandra Lee makes pound cakes. It's a
It sounds like a.
Doesn't sound right.
Like a brand. At any.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I was just saying because the alcohol. That's all it is.
Right.
Also, want to give a shout out to our friends at the Merchant. Always giving us a happy home to do what we love, which is geek out over cigars. While we're waiting on the beverages, I still haven't even been presented with the stick yet, so I don't even know what we're working with. But Spence, why don't you tell us what's going on at the Merchant? What you got happening? I know y'all got some new toys in recently. Very exciting.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? So this week we got a lot of really cool stuff. So first things first, this is the secret. Don't tell anyone. We got Opus X, and we got it in 6 sizes. We got 3 in the original, 2 Oro Oscuro, and 1 Angel Share. And in particular, we got in a size that doesn't really come out too much. We got the double Corona for the regular Opus X.
Wow, fancy!
It's a big cigar. So if you want a nice, hour and a half, 2 hour Opus, this might be your thing. Now, limit of 2 per customer, so per size. So
First size. Alex is like, so like 25 of them. Great.
Yep. Also, let's see, what else did we get in? Actually, I think that's pretty much all anything significant that we got in though. But we will be open tomorrow for Columbus Day. Happy Columbus Day, everyone. And also,
It's Indigenous Peoples Day.
I know you guys got some Royals in
Times.
recently. Do you also have any of those left?
no, those sold out real fast.
The
And they are back ordered.
And they're back ordered. How hard is it to get the Royal, Spence?
It's pretty difficult. The Royals, they use a really high grade special select tobaccos that's been aged for 8 years. This is Davidoff's finest. This is probably Prune Cigar's finest in general. I think he mentioned that a friend of yours said that the Royale rivals Bahike.
That's what he said. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. That's a crazy statement, but I'll find out. I'll find out soon enough. And
What? Well, hey, Zeno Davidoff used to be a Cuban cigar.
that's right.
Cigar.
That's right. Back in the day. Back in the day. I'm gonna try when we do smoke the Royal. I'm gonna do a show so that everybody can
Oh gosh.
see what it's like to experience
Everybody
a
can see.
And one last thing.
Royal.
And while we don't have the Davidoff Royale, just remember, guys, that we are the only Davidoff merchant between Houston and Baton Rouge. So come check us out. Come check out our Davidoff.
It is pretty tough to find a place that does carry Davidoff. How's the acquisition of the Prometheus line going?
So we're working on that right now. We're in the process of sending them the paperwork and all that. We just got to make a few orders with a few other companies first before we put in that big order. But Prometheus should be coming up soon, which means Lost Cities, Opus X Lost Cities, Don Carlos Anniversarios, and most importantly, the God of Fire.
That's
and
right.
their accessories.
That's right. Very excited. Very excited about the God of Fire. All right, so here's this beverage. While we're getting our beverages, let's get our sticks out here. Let's get this bad boy going.
Okay. You ready for this?
We are ready.
We might have to turn because we're still getting that glare. Can you turn and then you can sit?
All right. We're getting comfortable. This is like Netflix and chill.
Okay, so I chose this for you. I don't know. I feel like it'll be easy for you. I feel like it'll be easy.
The factory smoke.
Not wasting a shitty one on this.
All right.
All right, so first cocktail tastes.
All right, first cocktail taste.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Well, that is very, very summery.
Right?
It's got a bourbon foretaste, and then it comes through citrus on the finish.
Yep, down the hatch. Very easy.
Down the hatch. All right,
Whiskey,
so
lemon juice, simple as it.
this is so nerve-wracking. Oh my goodness.
He's like, I think I'm so smart.
Oh my goodness,
Am I though?
because like it's kind of like one of those math problems when you were in school and your professor works his way through it and you're watching it, and at every step of the way you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I see why you would do that. And then he gets to the answer and you're like, oh, that's easy peasy. Anybody can do that. And then they give you one to do all by yourself with no help, and you just look at it and you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. That's kind of what it's like here, because like when I'm smoking them and I can look at the band and see what it is, it's really obvious like why it tastes the way it does and everything. But looking at it like this, okay, so I right off the bat, I'm smelling chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really rich one. And I want to say what I'm thinking already, but I don't want to, in case I'm right. I don't want to.
All right, guess.
I don't want to.
Just guess.
Jamie Garcia.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Bruh. See? Oh my God. I was like, I should go easy. And then fucking Christ. God damn it.
I'm sorry. Autism is really bad.
Dude, I can't even believe you. Oh my God. How did you know? Did I give it away?
No, you didn't give it away.
Oh,
No, you didn't
shit.
give it at all. No.
I can't even believe it. Damn it.
Honestly, the appearance gave it away.
I guessed that it would.
Like, just looking at it, it just looks like a Jamie Garcia.
Yeah, it has the toothy wrappers, the little bumps.
And then, but then,
Right? Garrett's like, damn it. Oh, fucking Christ. God. Ah. This is the most annoying part about being married to this man. I cannot
And the smell.
surprise him, stump him.
I'm excited though because
the
this is a damn good cigar.
I know. And they only had 1 year. All right. Keeping with the theme, because you know I'm about a theme, I'm doing a my father Le Bijou Toro.
Still a choice.
There you go. God, I cannot believe you. Seriously. Oh,
dude, I have to say, watching my autism in real time, it freaks me out. So I'm like, how the fuck did I know that?
Weirder than I thought. Okay. Yeah, that's for sure. That's Alex. Super duper weird. Super duper weird. Fucking Christ. That's why we call him the scholar, because he's just like that weird.
Spencer wanted to make a bet with me about who would get it first. I should have taken him on mine.
Bruh, $10,000.
Well, I did predict that it was going to be my father.
That's right. That's right. That was his premonition, his guess.
Okay, but it wasn't my father. It was my father's subsidiary.
Well, Jaime
Alex is
Garcia,
the king of nuance. Okay.
Jaime Garcia is the son of my father.
Well, I know.
We
But
get
it's
it from
not
the-
my father.
We get it from the same company.
Right. It's a subsidiary.
Here we go.
You fucking ruined my game. Now you understand that this is going to be a huge challenge, right? It's going to be Stump Alex now. Every time.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, this isn't going away.
I'll help you out with that.
This is.
All right. So if you have any like really bougie, weird stuff that you want me to try to stump him with, send it over.
Oh my goodness, it's so chocolatey. Mm.
So joyful.
Oh my goodness,
Here, can you light mine too?
I love this. I love the cigar. God, she has such good taste.
I know. Like very good taste. Except for clearly not in men.
Oh, shnikes. Yeah, so basically in that 2 minutes, you saw the whole entirety of our 16 years of marriage having to play against each other.
Right? Oh my gosh. I don't ever play against him for anything anymore because I never win and it just pisses me off. Pisses me off.
So we actually had video evidence, proof of the time she beat me the one time. It was in 2005. We were playing video games. Virtua Fighter 4, to be exact. And it was my game. And I was a savant at the game. And then she comes in, first time visiting us, and she's trashed. We're all just hammered. And she's playing like this. Like the video of the cat playing the piano, that's how it looked, her playing video. She was just stopping the show and she beat me. And
like several times.
Oh my God.
I beat you. I beat Jamie like several times.
I was just like, never again.
He was hot about it.
I was hot about it. I was like, I'm going to get autism to make sure this never happens again.
Yeah. And then literally,
like,
I haven't beaten you at like anything except for like life.
Except in like number of Instagram followers and subscribers and people who just like worship her. Yeah, you got to be licked on that.
Well, I mean, that's part of the whole like life thing.
Mm.
Anyway, good choice.
Very good choice. I think.
God damn, I cannot believe that you guessed it. Like, I'm so irritated about it.
This would have taken me a little while to figure out. Like,
what?
If I did
3 minutes?
If I didn't know what it looked like, if I just find it. It's not a taste where it's so individuating that as soon as you taste that, you're like, nah, I know that's what it is. You know, this is like a solid nucleus of a Nicaraguan smoke because it's not ridiculous. Like Black Label can get really strong. It's not super peppery like a Tabernacle. It's just like roasty, chocolately, but it's not like charry like a Fuente.
It's a good Nicaraguan cigar. Like, yeah, like there's nothing like super distinctive about it other than that it's a good Nicaraguan cigar.
I knew that if I chose a Fuente, you'd know that it was a Fuente at least. But I feel like most of the big companies, they all kind of have like a solid like core flavor, and then they just kind of differentiate from that based on their kind.
I think I know what people could have told him.
What's up, Big Joe?
Rocket Tail Vintage Camera.
So we do have other things to talk about, you know,
Yeah,
besides just cigars here. So if you haven't already, we received an influx of tips. Really appreciate it. But if you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share us, leave a comment. We do love interacting with the viewers. It helps the algorithm, good for the show, all that good stuff. We were going to go over the rules of the mystery stick game, but we didn't get to that point yet. So we'll try better next time. Really,
the rules were supposed to be that he got 10 questions that he could ask. And I hadn't figured out yet if they were just going to be yes or no, or if they were going to be like actual questions.
I was going to treat it like 20 questions. And
it was going to be 10 questions.
And so I was going to ask you yes or no questions. Obviously, if I got 10 questions and they didn't have to be yes or no, the first question would be like, who made this cigar?
Okay, that's true.
And see that, wait a minute. Oh, you got me.
Yeah, so he was going to get 10 questions, and if he didn't get it, tough titties. If he did, amazing. And if one of y'all chose it before him, you guys were going to get the prize. But he's an idiot savant, so.
That's why John and I are such a good team. I'm an idiot savant. He's just an idiot. See, we can say that because we don't have COVID.
We can say that.
Sorry, John. Sorry, John. So I do want to talk a little bit about last week. We went to New Orleans, and New Orleans is known for many things, but it also has some pretty sweet cigar shops.
Right.
And so while I didn't want to make like a full thing, spending a ton of money, I did want to go and just look at the high dollar toys, and there's one shop in the quarter called Smoke on the Water, and they have a really impressive selection across all the brands. They run deep in the lines. You can find a lot of things that you won't find at other stores. They have some pretty high dollar sticks. They have some of those like special release Fuente Don Carlos's. They have special Fuente. They also have the My Father Jamie Garcia's special 15-year anniversary series. Just some cool stuff. Yeah, I have one of those. So she hadn't been there, so I took her out there, looked around.
Why hadn't I been there before, Alex?
Bring up the past.
Why hadn't I been there before, Alex?
Because you guys were living the wedding planner fantasy camp experience.
We were living the sugar mama camp. We were earning you guys. We were busting our asses, earning you money so that you could do your cigar.
So listen, there's something that you and Abby need to understand about me and Bo. We'll just come clean. We're trophy husbands, and that means it comes at a price. So if you guys got to schlep it during the weekend and pamper us with expensive cigars, then say la vie.
Okay.
If you're not down with that, ladies, then I suggest you downgrade to the Youngsville Bill Bradley models.
Okay.
Sorry, I said what I said, so that's how that was. Yeah, she got nothing to say. She's like, okay, I would take that over the Youngsville Bill Bradley.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. All right. What's our scoop today, Stanford?
So the scoop. Anyway, so I took her to the Smoke on the Water place.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. They had literally every aspect of the store, every wall was part of the humidor. It just snaked around the building, and they had so much cool stuff. I wasn't expecting to buy a whole lot, and I did, just like $250 worth. It's nothing, but they had some really cool Padrones. They had some interesting Rockies that I'd never seen before. They had the Sin Compromiso, which is like the one cigar by Dunbarton that I really wanted to try. And that's, I think, the number 2 cigar, maybe number 1 cigar a few years back. And then they also had the Unicorn. So if you guys are like, if you like cigars and you start thinking about like what are the Lamborghini models for each line, a lot of companies they have a cigar where it's like it's priced stupid. Davidoff has the Royal, which is like $100 a stick. Then you've got Cohiba has the Behike, a couple $100 a stick. Then you had Monte Cristo with the Grand Pyramidas, and those are all out of Cuba. Really expensive cigars. Well, Dunbarton has one called the Unicorn, and it comes in a little wooden box, and it's $160.
I was gonna say, why didn't you get it? And then you said that, and I was like, oh. Okay.
No, actually, I know about those cigars, and I know that's like they call it the Unicorn because when you find it, it's like, oh my god, I found a unicorn, which is why I should get one for Esme because
honestly, like I'm kind of, why didn't you get it?
Because I'm not a fan of the brand. I've tried several Dunbarton sticks, and I hadn't liked any of them. They're all just okay, they're just not that impressive. And so I don't know if I'm going to shell out $160 on your best stick if your normal sticks fall flat. But
well, fine then. Whatever.
Well, fine. But they had a lot of God of Fire. They had some Opus. They still had those Jamie Garcia 15-year anniversary. So the point I'm making is it's really cool going to a store and looking to see like what's their top shelf, what is the best. And when you start smoking, you get into that stuff and you start appreciating like, man, there really is something to these super high ends. We did the Padron 50th for that write up, and it's on another level. Going from something that's good to something that just like in every category you just can't. You don't have the capacity to really appreciate because it's that amazing. So I say,
right,
owe it to yourself to at least experience the top of the mountain one time. That way you can say you did it. And
the top of the mountain. Anyway, what else have we been doing? So yesterday, my friend Abigail, we went to Art Walk, which is a thing in downtown Lafayette. And it's essentially all the little downtown shops open up and there's vendors and all kinds of stuff. And we were just walking around and I was shocked by how anti-cigar the entire place was. We tried to be very aware of, not standing by big crowds and stuff like that. But man, we got like really dirty looks. Although we did get some compliments. Like one guy walked by and was like, "Ooh, she bougie with a good cigar." We were like, yes. But I mean,
and what were y'all smoking? Tell them what y'all were smoking.
We were smoking Ashton VSG Symmetries. Because I'm a bougie bitch and I stole that out of my...
Where did you get those Symmetries?
Out of your humidor.
I had just bought those too. I was like, don't smoke me a Symmetry. And now, Abby stole it.
Never. Just kidding. There's not another one. Anyway.
I know. I'm going to get Spencer this morning. I don't know if you saw, but I didn't even check her because I'm going to engage in some Opus therapy after the show.
Anyway. Yeah, so it was just very anti-cigar. And I mean, people were looking at us like we were cigarette smokers. I was so offended by that. I was just like, ew, these are very expensive cigars.
Well, what I've noticed, because I go to restaurants and smoke in patios, and what I've seen is like people break into two camps when they see somebody enjoying a cigar, especially like when it's a good cigar. People are either A, secretly jealous, and they let you see that. They're just like, oh man. They'll even say things like, oh man, that smells really good. They're just excited. Then if they're not in that camp, they look at you like you just shit on the floor right next to them because they're just so judgmental. There's not a whole lot of lukewarm when it comes to cigars. People are either like, that's awesome, or fuck you, get away from me.
So a guy came up to us last night and was talking about his love of cigars. And he told us, he was like, you ever tried, it's called like a chili mousse or something like that? And I was like, what are you talking about? But he was like, those are my favorite. What are they? Because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to ever like smoke. I don't know if I'd be like drawn to something that was like chili mousse.
I've actually heard a number of people talk about the chili mousse, and I would try one, but like you, I'm just not really impressed by it. But I do want to talk about this Jamie Garcia since we're smoking it on the show. It is, what I really love about it is that because I went into smoking it carte blanche, really letting the flavor speak to me. It's like if I know what I'm smoking beforehand, I'm going to like, it's the power of suggestion, like I'm looking to taste these things, so I taste them. But when it's blind, you put nothing into the air. You just like receive and focus on that. So it's almost like I'm smoking it for the first time. which is pretty cool because it's a good stick. It's almost like a s'mores at this first start. It's really, really richly chocolate with a little graham cracker finish. It's freaking yums. Is what it is.
Yums kabibbles?
Yums kabibbles. I didn't know if I would lose scholar points for saying yums kabibbles on a show, but yeah,
I don't know. I can't remember where that generated from, but it's pretty cute.
It came because I'm a big fan of Austin Powers, and he said "ouch kabibbles," and so I just did my own little twist on it and made it yums kabibbles.
I could have lived the whole rest of my life without knowing that.
And now that's something you know.
Great.
It's like every day when you're married to an autistic person, it's like, oh, the shit that I hear, he's there.
Oof. Putting it lightly. All right. What else is on your list over there, bud? What's your cute little mini legal pad?
Yeah. Really lovely s'mores finish. I'm not sure how it's going to progress from third to third, but it's got a really good oily mouthfeel, and it's kind of got like a like burnt hazelnut. It's almost decadent, I would say. Not like a Tabernacle broadleaf where it's a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper and it's really heavy, but it doesn't have the smoothness or the sweetness that this does. I would say this is a far superior cigar. What would you say?
To the Tabernacle?
The Tabernacle broadleaf?
Oof. I'm not a big fan of the Tabernacle broadleaf, so yeah, for sure would say that.
A lot of people like esteem the crap out of that cigar.
It's not horrible. I just don't love it.
I know, but I'm curious. What is your? I'm not disagreeing with you, but I want to hear your breakdown of what you don't like about it.
I don't know. I haven't smoked one in a really long time, and when I did have it, I had a Lancero. So
that's right. Because we have one. See, I found that the flavor was almost like one note. It really didn't.
It's exceptionally spicy, and then that might have been heightened by the fact that it was a Lancero. But I didn't find it to be well balanced at all. There was just like that one, and it just got intense, really intense. That spice kind of just stayed. And
yeah, I tasted your Lancero. It was not nearly as good as the Toro. Mm-mm. It just wasn't. I'm shocked that big of a difference was made. But
all right, give me your list.
It really was. All right, so okay, we got to talk about what's going on next week. So I got to motivate the story. You get ahead of my story. Okay, so even though I grew up as a total dork playing Warhammer and all that stuff, I still look down on other kind of dorks, and the kind of dorks that I really look down on were people who played like D&D or did LARPing or went to Ren Fair.
Oh my god!
Because
it's so fucking fun.
I thought they were just like so lame. And a couple of years ago, she's asking if we can go to the Ren Fair, the Renaissance Fair, which is a medieval festival where it's very thematic, and they set it up.
Dude,
like
they don't know what Ren Fair is.
I don't want to presume too much. Okay, so that's what it is. People dress up. Costumes are elaborate. It's almost like a cosplay type event.
It is a cosplay type event.
But it's okay. But it's not with comic books. All right. So we go, and I'm just like already thinking about the costume I got because like it was so freaking cool. The shows, entertainment, it was really, really fun. And so I started thinking about I got next time we come I got to get an outfit, And so we've gone a couple times.
Sword. This is like I'm good.
Dude, every time we go and you walk into the armory thing, the part of your brain that like lives in reality just shuts off, and then the stupid boy who's a grown up kicks in. It's like, look at all these toys. I want them all. And it's a lot. It's a lot of temptation to deal with. And so I'm gonna be getting a big sword. Basically, what I'm saying.
It's not
witstanding. I'm ready to succumb to the temptation.
He's not.
A big sword.
He's not.
So let me tell you about my outfit. All right, everybody. Even though no one's listening, I am going to go as this Scottish warrior type guy with this leather armor and a kilt.
Super excited. And a kilt.
That would do face paint.
Oh, I'm so excited with the leather kilt.
It's going to be badass.
Oh, it's going to be good.
So we'll take some footage because there's going to be a lot of cigar smoking. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to maybe cut a nub for you guys since I don't think we're going to be able to have a show next week. Oh, look, John's here. What's up, John?
Look, he's not dead.
He's not dead, everybody. Anyway, so John, you want to type everybody a nice message in case like they find themselves with the Rona? What should they not do, John? And that's where you type.
Wait.
Do nothing. Don't wait. Don't wait. Get an infusion.
All right. What is on your list?
We're talking about Ren Fair.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, some people don't drink Modelo. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. But anyway, so we're getting costumes and we're going to camp out there, and that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to be this Scottish warrior guy. Lindsey, what are you going to be? Tell everybody.
I'm a fortune teller.
She's a fortune teller.
With Esme. I'm going to match my daughter, so.
That is something y'all are going to want to see.
We're going to be adorable.
Oh my God. The Dorby level will be off the charts.
Off the charts.
Incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible.
Unquantifiable. So tell them what is the plan for going to Ren Fair? What are we going to be doing up there?
Well, Saturday we're gonna leave for our Ren Fair. We're gonna set up. We have 2 campers coming out, so we're gonna set up a bar adult camper and a cooking kid camper. And I don't know. We made like fancy cocktails for every day. And Sunday we're gonna go be crazy at Ren Fair, and then Monday we come home.
This is a really good stick. Chew.
That's a good stick, yeah.
And then after Ren Fair, of course, we have Halloween. Mm-hmm. And this is where viewers at home, tell us what your Halloween plans are. Are you going to dress up? What are you going to dress up as? I think that we're working on.
I just speed walked out of here.
We're working on some costume ideas. Do you know what you're going to be?
I can't figure it out yet.
I'll tell you what I'm going to be. I'm going to be an animated woman. I'm just trolling somebody in particular, and he knows. Oh my god. Whatever.
Anyway, I really haven't chosen it. I don't know. I'm just uninspired this year. I don't know what it is about it.
So people ask a lot about the type of cut you use, whether a wedge is superior to a flat. I used a wedge here, and I tore my wrapper. So one of the risks of using a wedge cut is that if your wrapper cracks. But
sorry, bud.
What it is, but look how well the ash is held together. It's a very tight ash.
It's
very tight ash. It's a good tight ash.
What else is on your list, buddy? You still talking about Ren Fair?
Well, we moved on to Halloween. So what are our Halloween? Are we going anywhere?
No, not really. We got a couple parties to go to and stuff like that. That's about it.
Yeah, a lot of parties to go to. It's going to be an interesting season. Last year was insane what we did. Every year we come up with something ridiculous to do. And I would say that we have quite the reputation for, like, if the Stanfords are going to your Halloween party, just look out, because we come with some shit. We did one of our first years. We did Dios de los Morta, and we did like the black suits and white shirts, and we painted our faces, and we won that costume contest. It was like no contest. We were freaking hot looking. It was awesome. Then the next year, we did The Exorcist, where I was the priest and she was the Reagan, the little girl.
Yeah, and funny enough, I was like newly pregnant. The vomit on my dress, super real.
Oh man, we went to work. She was all painted up, and like I had the black rings around my eyes because I was like fighting the minions of hell for so long. We smoked that costume contest. The first Halloween we ever did, I'm not allowed to say what we were because of Facebook community standards. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah,
but it was a great costume. Let's just say it was a costume in the spirit of Justin Trudeau. So let's just leave it at that. So we did that, and then we did 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? We did one where we were flashers. So
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, we did flashers. So we cut up cardboard and pixelated it. And then we wore.
My favorite part is when he says we. Like I didn't paint all of the pixelation.
I totally helped in like a lot of important ways. And then we got black trench coats and sunglasses. We went to party. We go, what? It looked like we were totally naked, but our junk was pixelated. So it was a really cute idea.
At the end of the night, I think we were totally naked.
The first place we went, though, it was a kid party. We didn't
realize it was a kid party.
We didn't realize kids were going to be there. So we're like, we feel highly inappropriate.
Yeah, very, very, very inappropriate.
And then Bobby Frugia tried to take my clothes off. But that was just Bobby. That's what he does.
It's just Bobby.
Then we did one where I dressed as Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. So I grew my hair out for over a month, and it was how my hair is not particularly long, but Jeff Goldblum's Dr. Malcolm, he had a fro. He had a straight on Jew fro, and so I had to grow this out, and it was like itchy, like I was in a hot suit. It was crazy. And she went as the T-Rex that chased me in the big scene where I'm on the back of the Jeep and they're driving away. And so what we did was we went to the party, and she got in her suit and inflated it, and I went ahead and knocked on the door, and she had her instructions. And so I bang on the door desperately, and somebody eventually opens it, not having any idea that there's a skit being played. I barrel through the door, and in my best Dr. Ian Malcolm voice, I say, "You gotta get out of here. It's coming for us now." And I just run through the house, and she's in the driveway going, rah, 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 rah. And she like goes through the house as I just barrel through every room, knocking people over. And eventually the dinosaur catches me and devours me. And we stood up to raucous applause, and we smoked.
Yeah, it was great. And then I changed into a scary costume, and I won the costume contest.
And it's yeah. And then last year we
last year you went as a couple's costume with John, which was fun.
That's right. That's right. We
Yep, I was WAP last year for Halloween. Why don't you explain that one?
So sometimes when a real power couple comes together, like me and John, just it has its own inertia, its own momentum. And I know, despite what John has told people, it's totally heterosexual thing. It was just a coincidence that I grew a mustache, not because of John. But we decided to go as King Leonidas and Xerxes from 300, and he was very excited about being able to take couples photos with me.
That was very true.
Yeah. But I had to paint my whole body bronze and wear a skull cap and do piercings and wear chains and a codpiece, and
yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was pretty wild.
It was good. I had liquid latex from head to toe though, from putting that shit on you, and it was not great. And then we should also say that we had a wedding to go to that afternoon.
Oh.
So Alex went as a gold man in a suit.
Yeah, because my costume took
As
so
a bald
long,
gold man
had so many stages of prep that
he looked like an Academy
I had
Award.
to paint my body in the morning and do my skull cap and then do the rest in stages. So I went to a wedding, bald and gold. It looked like Lindsey had just won a huge Oscar.
It's just like, here's my award. All right.
It was ridiculous, but I got some really interesting looks from people at the wedding because they were. It was like a masquerade wedding. I was like, well, I've took a little excessive.
I am very much masquerading. Yeah, so I was WAP. That was fun. I didn't win my costume contest last year, which I thought was obnoxious. I think it was a little there's too much nuance in my costume. I had to keep explaining it to people. And that's irritating. They're like, "What are you?" I'm like, "WAP," and they're like, "What's WAP?" And I'm
well, honestly, most guys have never seen a wet ass pussy.
Oh, so many things I could say.
Ah.
Oh, if I'm just gonna not.
Oh, look at yourself being like, thinking things. So we've not actually reviewed the bijou on the show. So tell everybody what
I like it. This was.
She loves the bijou.
I do. I love the bijou. It was one of my first.
And I love the beach.
Yeah, it was one of my first favorite cigars, like ever. First like bougie cigars I ever really like bought for myself, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go pick up a bijou." But I really like them. They're just solid. Construction is always amazing. They're one of those cigars that, like, sometimes you grab cigars and you're like, this one's okay. But like, man, I had one before. It's great. These are just always like, I can always look back on them and they're going to be just consistent, right? And yeah, I agree. Best stick that my father puts out, I think anyway, in the actual My Father lines. Super leathery, real rich.
Everything you're saying is true, but I just don't know if I would say it's the best. I know it's the best rated, 97, Cigar Aficionado, and all that jazz. But if I'm looking to just like enjoy a smoke with no ostentatiousness, I'm going to pick a Don Pepin Blue.
Listen, that's why I said
I love the Don Pepin Blue.
Yeah, but the Don Pepin Blue is not. It's not on My Father.
It is.
Is it? It's a.
So.
Well, it's owned by the same company.
So I remember I was talking to one of the reps actually.
We got pulling Spence over this one.
Right.
Go ahead, Spence.
Okay, so
All right, educate us.
it's a complicated story. Basically, my
I
father.
love complication.
Basically, Don Pepin used to basically blend for Acanagorsa.
Can you?
He built a factory. He built a factory in Nicaragua. Started rolling his own stuff, working with them. For a while, it was Don Pepin was the name. Then they started kind of changing it to My Father, and changed the branding up. But, the Don Pepin Blue is on My Father. Yeah, it's kind of spicy. It's a good cigar.
Well, yeah, it has that Coroyo wrapper on it.
I love it. Love it.
Yep.
And I got our good friends, Bo and Abby Falgu, to try it, and now that's one of their like favorites. So it's always nice when you mention a stick to somebody.
Wait
and
a second. So I know that I don't know. What I'm reading is that Don Pepin, yes, it's made by the same family that has My Father, but that it's its own. It's not like Don Pepin Blue by.
Oh, so you're saying that My Father sticks like in the Provincia and the Opulencia and the
Right.
Judge and
like the actual My Father lines.
Oh,
Like of the My Father named Vitolas, this is my favorite one.
okay, fine. I'll agree with that. Okay, fine.
Oh, and fun
Thank
fact: the Les Bijou means jewel, and the 1922 Les Bijou 1922 refers to Don Pepin's birth year.
Really?
Yeah.
Which basically means when he was born, he had some jewels.
Yeah. And it's just one of those cigars. It's very high quality and it's fairly affordable for the price.
Oh,
Like-
for
Like,
sure.
like I think it's kind of like like you got the Don Carlos, Les Bijou. They're kind of like that $12, $13 range, but you could definitely stamp a $18 price tag on it and people would still buy it. It's just a great cigar.
It's true. It's always amazing when you can enjoy a legitimate like elite stick, a 90 rated stick.
I also really like the
pay
fact
like
that
$12 for it. It's awesome.
the Bijou Robusto is less than $10. I think it's like less than $8.
That's the short Robusto.
Yeah, but I mean that's my perfect size. Those are the sizes that I keep in the humidor at all times, just because those are perfect size for like after work.
What I want to ask you is, you've stated there are other instances where a stick notices a flavor like diminishment when you change its size to a smaller one. Like the Nesta Miranda coffee breaks. You say those don't taste quite as good as the Gordos or the Toros, and but you do smoke a lot of Bijou Robustos. Do you find that they lose anything going to that smaller size?
If they do, I mean, I guess I haven't smoked. I very rarely smoke the Bijou Toros.
Usually, you
Very
get,
rarely, because the Robustos are the ones that I typically buy. So, I I would have to smoke one back to back and really see, or like close enough together. I haven't had a Bijou Toro in probably 6 months, so I don't know if I could really tell you.
So like two factors that I would say consider when it comes to flavor change with different vitolas is typically with ring gauge. With ring gauge, you're changing the portion of the wrapper to the filler. So there's a thing in math where if you double the radius of a circle, you quadruple the area, and so that applies to the volume too. So basically, the thicker the thicker the ring gauge, the more filler you get. And so of course, though, the manufacturers do try to adjust for it. They do try to adjust for it so it's consistent, but there can still be a little change. And also too, I find personally with actually more of the wrapper because you get more wrapper is sometimes as you smoke it, like different. But one of the reasons too why that happens is because oftentimes what the manufacturers will do is they'll put like maybe a hair leaf in front, or like a small hair leaf in the back, and stuff like that.
Well, I do want to point out that Garrett says that the Opulencia is way better than the Bijou, and Spencer's a bitch. So I'm just saying that's what he's putting out there.
I really
so
do.
if we can get a little bit of heat, I'm here for it. This would be like the Jerry Springer of cigars.
No,
if you
that's
want to come out.
Okay, I do like the Opulencia quite a lot. I really like the Promesa, the La Promesa.
I never had the Promesa.
A lot of people like the Judge. I do see people say that's their favorite.
I'm not a huge fan of the Judge. I find it.
It's very leather.
You did. It's fine. He paraphrased Garrett. It's fine.
It's not like we don't have a transcript right here. I'm just like Jen Psaki here. I'm just totally lying my ass off to the American people.
Circling back.
We're gonna circle back on that.
The Promesa has almost like a really pronounced citrus flavor. It's super bright. I remember the first time I tried it, I was just like, "Oh, it's great." Although by like the last third, that citrus for me turns and gets a little acrid, and then I'm done with it.
Let's see what's in it.
I think that's my ADHD now, honestly, because like my half a cigar, I'm just like, I'm done with this.
There are a few cigars that it's where it's like a tale of two halves. The first half, amazing, I love it, and then the second half, it just changes.
Are you gonna make me another drink or no?
All right, how do I do it?
All right, now we're gonna teach Alex how to make drinks.
Oh boy!
Shit.
All right, hit it. All right.
So 2 ounces of whiskey. The ounce measure is the little smaller one. Don't pour too fast. Pour over your cup. So good. Oh, wow, man. Wow.
There goes the notepad.
Right. All right. Then a 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, which really would equate to about a whole lemon juiced. It has a cap.
Oh, okay. So 3/4 of an ounce.
3/4 of an ounce of that. You're good.
Here we go. 3/4. All right.
I really like the lemon juice, though. It cuts the bite of the whiskey. And
this is hard work here.
It's so hard. 3/4 of an ounce of simple. I'll tip you later.
Is this the power cable?
3/4 of an ounce of simple.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right there in the corner. There you go.
Is it just a loose cable?
Okay.
It's just a loose cable. You're good.
Yeah, it's just loose.
Okay. And then ice and stir it up.
Put in ice.
So I had to decide between our cocktails today. The other one I wanted to make had dragon fruit and elderflower liqueur in it. I'll make that later, though. Thank you, babe.
Go. That's the best drink you've ever had in your life. Freaking great. Probably not. It's not a latte. I know how to make those, but
You did.
this weird drink stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. So.
I mean, It's 3 ingredients. It's not like it's difficult to mess up.
It's true. Okay. So we talked about my father. Try to get a little lively debate going over here.
Talked about my father.
Now that we're in the middle third of this thing, that s'mores flavor has almost gotten cakey. Really nice.
Oh, give me some of that.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
It's so good.
So I was talking to someone last night, and they wanted us to not only pair cigars with like cocktails, but also with chocolate and coffee. I think that would be fun. We could do like a brunch one and have coffee.
So what I can tell you guys as far as pairings, you'll hear so many different opinions about what goes best at breakfast. You know, I've known guys who prefer the mildest sticks for breakfast, and there are other guys who like a really full body stick at breakfast. And basically,
At breakfast.
it really is like if you just want to enjoy a given cigar, it'll be good no matter what time of day you smoke it. So people are like, "Oh, this is a good breakfast cigar." It's like, man, that's a lunk of coal. You know, what are you? You don't want to start your day with that. But like I've tried a lot of different combinations, and so when it comes to pairing with coffee, coffee has a really nice, well, depending on what kind of coffee you drink. I prefer like unsweetened latte. I like a lot of espresso. I typically pull 5 shots, and then I don't use milk. I use half and half, and I just foam the crap out of it.
He's bougie as hell about
And
his lattes.
It has almost like a natural sweetness from the sugars in the half and half. So like it's amazing. But like there's really, really strong cream notes, coffee notes. It's got that dark espresso note that a lot of cigars have. And so if you're thinking of like for that's going to be a different pairing than if you drink like, you know, just a drip coffee or an iced coffee that doesn't have all those notes.
Drip coffee.
Okay. So like I'm gonna frame my opinion from the perspective of, you know, if you like drinking a lot of strong espresso with cream, not sugar, not all that, you know, frappuccino crap. That's what you're trying to pair with, then I can tell you. You want a stick that is going to be able to go toe-to-toe with all those notes in the latte, and those notes are going to be, there's going to be cream notes. There's going to be that dark espresso note. There's going to be a subtle sweetness to it, but it's also going to have that stiff punch in the mouth, kind of strong flavor.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, if you want a cigar that's going to hit all of those, there is no cigar that does that as well as a Cuban cigar, because Cuban cigars have a sweetness to them, even though they can have the strong notes, those bitter notes, those intense notes, leather notes, the notes that you would find in this dark espresso. So looks like Spencer wants to chime in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Spencer's chiming in.
I know for me, my approach to it, and of course, might not be your approach, is so unlike with whiskey, where you particularly pair strong tasting whiskey with a strong tasting cigar, I would say with coffee, flip it on its head. So if you're drinking black coffee, you might actually want a milder cigar. And if you're doing something with like milk, or especially something with half and half, because fat because the palate, you're gonna want something stronger tasting.
Mm-hmm.
So like for example, if I was had like a latte or something like that, something that's kind of sweet, something with like with cream in it, I'd probably want to go with an Ashen Age Maduro. So like it's a Maduro, it has some strong flavor to it, but it's also not too strong, so it's not gonna make you sick in the morning. While on the other hand, if I'm drinking black coffee where they have that strong, bitterness, I want something smooth to complement it. So something maybe like an Underground Shade, or honestly my favorite one, the Zeno Platinum Crown Scepter, like the Grandmaster, which has that rich, unique Peruvian tobacco. It's kind of salty and buttery.
Salty.
Yeah, it's a good combo. I mean, I might disagree, but Zeno Scepter is my favorite breakfast cigar.
So I'll also I will grant the merit to what he's saying. That's true. But there's something else that I think about when I'm choosing my breakfast cigar, and that is like, is that gonna make me want to like embrace the day, or is that gonna kind of make me want to take a nap? And I find that if I'm smoking, like if I was to start my morning with an LFD double Ligero, I'm taking a fucking nap. There's no way I'm going to work after that, because it's like, it's so heavy, it's so hardcore. You're so high off your ass from the nicotine. There's no way that you'd be like, I want to go do depositions now, But so like off of what he's saying, I would take an Ashton Symmetry in the morning with my coffee over the Maduro just because it's a lighter smoke, and I will get the pep from the nicotine, but I won't feel weighed down. My lungs won't be all like, hey, 1 minute, lad, I can't quite get there. Why don't you go sit for a bit? No, there's none of that. It's just like I feel good about going to work, and I'm motivated, and I'm ready to go. That's
at
what
11:30.
a light stick will do,
And then he goes to lunch.
But also I will say,
for the Symmetry's actually stronger than the Maduro.
On the weekend, I like to pamper myself. And yesterday I smoked a Hoyo de Monterey Epicure with breakfast, and it was like 2 hours to just be like, this is so good. Oh my god, like the coffee, and it's just like you really I can't wait to retire. If I ever do, all I'm gonna do is just smoke Habanos and drink lattes until my prostate bursts through my body like an alien.
You're gonna be the worst retired.
Whatever.
All right,
Whatever.
what else do we got?
What else do we got? All right. So Spence, I know you're smoking the same stick I am. Let us hear the Prodigy's thoughts on the Garcia.
So I'll be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention to the first third, so I apologize. But
Jade Spencer.
But
Kids.
from the second third where I'm at now, I'm kind of getting like kind of like we said, a kikiness, a little bit of the sweetness, maybe a little butterscotch in the background, but also too kind of like almost like a little note that almost reminds me of an orange dreamsicle pie or something like that.
Okay.
So you get a tiny bit of that orange.
So one of my favorite things about cigars is when you're smoking a cigar with somebody, finding that visual where when you tell them, and like I do that with John all the time. We'll be smoking something, and I'll say, "Hey, what about this?" And I'll tell him this really obscure culinary, and like the light goes on. It's just like, yes, it's like the perfect description of what he's smoking. So I'm going to try to do that with you. Okay. All right. As you smoke that, I want you to visualize a pan of brownies that have been cooked like 10 minutes too long and a corner piece crust.
Okay, so because of that, we have to stop and get brownie mix on the way home.
Oh, you're in trouble.
We getting brownies.
Does that like put a? Does that just hit the note?
I'll see more. It's like undercooked brownies actually, like the soft dough.
See, I understand where he's coming from with the overcooked brownies because there's like that little teeny tiny little toastiness on the back end, and man, I love a crispy corner of brownie. Oh.
I mean, who doesn't?
Oh, I know it's a fight for them. The middle one always gets left in our house.
I think the reason why this works for a lot of people is because they have an experience and they're having a hard time quantifying it with words, and so by painting an image that they can kind of relate to, it kind of fills in the gaps and like, oh,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It tells a story and it relates to something. Everybody can relate to that,
Well, a lot of times, also, I'm just like, what am I tasting? What am I tasting? And it's like there, and you can kind of have it, but your palate really hasn't like put it together yet. And when you give those little like hints, then I'm like, oh, that's totally it. And then I can extrapolate a little bit more. Like some people, actually a lot of people, they're like, how are you tasting all this? Like a lot of people say it's much like BS. But I think the thing is like it's almost like tasting a cigar is like a skill. It's an art. So like, you can be, someone can describe it to you and you can connect the dots for you. But whenever you're naming the flavors, you are the one having to come up with something to connect it to. So basically, the more you do it, the better you get. Other people, they have a good cigar taste, like in terms of like their palate, but they just don't know how to quantify it. Well, I think also that the people that say that being able to taste nuance in cigar flavors, there's a lot of people that are just like, it's bullshit. But I mean, those people also aren't the type of people that are smoking, typically anyway, in my opinion, they're not smoking like very expensive cigars. They're not smoking top of the line stuff. And more often than not, there is a difference in how much people can taste.
Yeah.
Like some people
For
have
sure.
extremely sensitive palates. Some people
Have
don't.
COVID. Some people have COVID.
Some people have COVID.
Yeah.
And I think that there's just a huge difference in some people, they just can't taste as much, or maybe haven't developed their palate as much. I would think that they probably say the same about wines or whiskeys and stuff like that.
It's like the taste equivalent of the flavor equivalent of depth perception. Like some people have trouble like estimating like how far an object is away from them, while others can do it really well.
Horrible depth perception.
Yeah, and so the same thing with flavor. And
why did John spit his drink across the room?
I'm not sure what exactly he was referring to. I don't know. One of the things I do want to point out is the price point on a Jamie Garcia is actually in the budget range. It's under $10. You can get a stick like this for $9.
It's $8.70 in our humidor.
And yeah, and what's great about it is that it looks great. It's got a nice oily wrapper. If you're going to a cigar meetup or a function, and you don't want to be that guy who pulls out some factory smoke and just feels like everybody, people like, if you hang out with this dude, you better be rocking Davidoff, man. I had a party here for my birthday last week, and I invited all kinds of people.
Yeah, tell them about your party,
and it was a little. It wasn't really a surprise party. There was something. I just didn't know what the party was. Well, it turns out it was here. And we had a poker tournament.
Okay, that was an awesome surprise party. You need to
invited
be a bunch of
people, and like it was a trip. It was such an amazing event. If you get the chance to marry a smoking hottie who does that kind of stuff, you want to jump on that like a grenade. I
throw good parties.
She throws amazing parties. So I had a bunch of friends here, and Spencer. They don't normally open at that time, but he kept the place open, and he pulled out all like my favorite stuff from their humidor and put it on the table. And everybody who came in, he was like, "This is these are Alex's personal choices."
It was like everything.
I have a lot of friends who are like nominal smokers, so they're not like hardcore. They don't really know a whole lot, but they think it smells good, they think it's cool, so they're down to like learn. And Spencer's like telling them like, "Well, you need a Davidoff. We need to get you in a nice." Oh, try this Millennium. It's real smooth there. You have 3 forms of payment and 2 IDs because this is like.
We had an open cigar bar,
God.
so it was essentially everybody goes and picks what they want, and it was not really on the house, it was on me, but.
It was on us. We paid for it, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But the point is, if you're going to a party like that and you want to smoke something that has world-class flavor, but isn't going to break your bank, dude, the Jamie Garcia is perfect for that.
Yep.
It's a sub $10 stick for a Gordo size. You'll be able to rock it for an hour and a half. Easy. It tastes great. It doesn't get boring. It's just like, this is one of those sticks where, like the Nesta Miranda, where like, there's never a time where I would be like, no, I'm not in the mood for that. It's always like,
right. Jump on it like a grenade.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's and the price is approachable, and also it has just enough nuance too to appeal to both beginner smokers and also experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of those that I really like to grab is the Don Pepin Blue.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great party stick. Mostly because it's usually, I don't know, it's a little bit sweeter. It's a great like evening stick.
Now you got to be careful with that one though, because a lot of people though they don't like the spice because it has a lot of black pepper up front.
The Don Pepin Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
it's got some spice to it. Not a lot of pepper, but spice.
So I find it so caramelly and like.
Oh, it's a great cigar.
I smoked what did I smoke? I smoked a Plasencia. Was it?
It was the Forte Natural, Mexico.
Yeah, it was the Forte, the Colorado.
The green label.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Mm.
No, I had the black label.
All right, y'all want to hear how much I adore this woman? Tell them what I brought.
Why are you pointing at me?
No, he has not told everybody he identifies as a woman yet. We're waiting on that. So this one here. So we did a cigar meetup. She met me over there. She was like, "Bring me some cigars." I didn't realize she had swiped 2 of my Symmetries, my last 2, by the way. But I brought her. Said, "What did I bring for you to smoke?"
An Andalusian Bull.
Mm.
Although he was like, "Hey, what do you want to smoke tonight?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll get back to you." And a little bit later, I told him, I was like, "I either want to smoke a Placencia, one of the green label hexagonal ones, or a bull. And he was like, "Oh, you being bougie tonight?" And I was like, listen.
Bougie.
I don't often say that I want to smoke like something real expensive. But when I do, like I want to smoke something real expensive, right? I mean, I had a taste for a bull. And so he brought me a bull. I was like, "Oh, it's so nice."
Alex is calling someone bougie. Whoa.
So I see a lot of guys talking about
Where do you
their
think he
wives,
learned
like
this
they don't
bougie
like
from?
them smoking, and so how difficult it is, and it is difficult. And so it seems like the answer would be like, "Hey, dude, get a wife who's like cool with you smoking." But what I never realized is like, dude, she'll swipe your sticks,
All of them.
and so you have to like have your name on your humidor. Like, this is mine. You stay out of this one.
Married. I'm gonna put half mine
And
on it.
then I come home and I'll see one that's like ashed out in the ashtray. I'm like, whoa, I remember that one. I was saving that one.
Whatever. He has.
But that's why now I always buy two. Anytime I see a cooler, I buy two of them. That way
I
it swipes
also
one.
do not take anything out of your aging humidor, and there's only two that I feel comfortable like taking out of without asking first. Although if he
Okay, that's
pisses
fair.
me off, I'm smoking his
That's
whole
fair.
fucking aging
She
humidor
hangs
by
that shit
himself.
over me all the
I'm
time.
gonna smoke it
All
by
the
myself.
time.
I mean, barfing.
You
on
pissed
the
me
floor.
off. Oh, I'm going in your Davidoff. Yeah.
Got a fire.
I'm gonna smoke your Royal.
See, I'm gonna smoke
All
your
of
Royal.
them.
Smoke your Royal. It's like just taking your ball, like just cut them right off. It's fine.
I use something
But see-
not quite that sharp.
She would never do that. In fact, so for my birthday, she got me this chest humidor because like I want something that looks different. I want something unique, off the beaten path type of thing. So she gets me this chest humidor that looks like a treasure chest, and you always have these trays, and it's freaking so cool. I will take a nub. What I'll do for you guys, and I got another humidor from my buddy Andre, so I'm gonna do a nub where I kind of like scan over the humidor so you guys can see them. I haven't gotten like the full armoire curio cabinet style humidor yet, which I'd like to, but I'm gonna show you guys the collection. It's I geek
That's
out all
his
the time.
Christmas present. It's the Tupperware.
Yeah,
$8.99.
yeah. But speaking of really fine taste, we need to do something special for when John comes back from the netherworlds. It feels like it's been forever since I did a show with that guy. He's always like, "I'm sick.
I'm traveling.
I'm dying. Help me, I know." So why don't you guys suggest a stick that we can smoke when John comes back? And look, before you say it, yes, I agree. He loves the acids, Cuba Cuba, but we probably should do something a little bit less.
We'll save that for when
We
Kelly
should
comes
do
out.
You know.
make sure you can taste again.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah. John, let us know. Can you taste? Can you? How's your schnoz working? Because if you can't taste anything, then like I'm not wasting anything good on your ass. Sorry.
All right. What else is on your list? Let me see it. I'm gonna go over your list. Whew.
The list went down. Let's go. Ooh, I spilled on it. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
There was a bunch of stuff on there.
Oh yeah,
So anyway,
These cocktails are very strong.
cocktails are very strong.
I like
Also,
that as I've had more cocktails, I'm just like, I'm going to sleep with that.
she's like curling into this. I was like, I'm going to sleep. So the thing about
Whiskey
switching
makes me
from
wanna die.
cocktails to whiskey is that like there's your size swig when you're drinking a cocktail versus when you're sipping whiskey. You don't sip a cocktail really. You like take a little, take a drink of it.
This is a sipping cocktail.
Well,
you can sip it old fashioned.
My second
Yeah.
drink was just pure whiskey, and I drank it like it was the cocktail. So
Woo.
that's my bad. It's my B. It's fine.
It's your B.
That's my B.
Why don't you put there's some club soda over there.
It's fine. I'm good.
He's a kind of a bitch.
I'm good. I'm a big boy. It's all fine.
He's not. When this goes off, he's gonna be like, "We're going to take a nap."
Whatever. Should we talk current events? Should we do some current events?
I feel like my understanding of current events is very different from yours.
Okay. Well, that's true. The thing is that I just always took it for granted that people thought like I did. Turns out, no.
Nobody
they
does.
Don't, because I'm a freak.
Nobody does.
It's fun. It's fun.
Is it really? You bitch about it a lot. So is it really fine for you?
So
It's like,
one of the things that happened recently is that apparently Joe Biden issued this like vaccine mandate everybody's following, but it actually wasn't really an executive order. It was just.
okay, so I was thinking when we were thinking current events, we were talking about like Cardi B and her like.
Or a Dave
Cardi B.
Chappelle.
Let's talk about Cardi B. What about her? She's a hoe, right? I think that's kind of like their thing now.
I mean, that was kind of always her thing, but like, I don't know.
Dave Chappelle pissed a bunch of people off.
Also, kind of his thing.
Right?
What did he do this time? Was it recent?
Well,
Yes.
what we can talk about with current events is that they are proposing federal cigar taxes, which are going to really raise the price. Oh, I got Spencer up and bothered. Okay, here goes Spencer.
No, he's just like, damn it, I'm coming.
He's
back.
like, oh, this injustice cannot stand.
Here
Right.
I am back again.
All right.
It's
It's like Beetlejuice. I didn't even say his name 3 times. I said it once. There he is.
okay. So, one of the provisions in the so-called Build Back America Better Act, which is a $3.5 trillion bill in Congress right now, raises taxes on tobacco. First off, it raises in its so there's this tax on tobacco right now called the S-chip tax, which manufacturers pay based on the cigar. Right now, I think it's about 40 cents a cigar. What they're proposing to do is they plan to raise it and tax it by weight. And current to the math, it would increase the retail price after we count in the state tax, and also the upcharge in the cigar in your retail shop. It's going to raise the MSRP price from $1 to $4. So let's say that you like your Underground Maduro Toro, which is a $10 stick.
Not as good as this, by the way. It ain't.
But the Jaime Garcia, it's an $8 stick right now. It might become an $11 stick.
Jesus.
Also, too, pipe tobacco, they want to increase it by $46 a pound.
Wow.
Which would basically over here it would double. It would at least double our the pipe tobacco per ounce. It'd go from like $4.50 to $10 probably.
Jesus.
I was here like a week and a half ago.
Now, as for its
I
progress,
took about a whole pound of pipe tobacco.
what?
I was when John was here.
Mhm.
I took about a whole pound of pipe tobacco.
Yeah, people do that. 'Cause some people just-
Crazy.
it's a lot. Now, as for whether it'll pass, I'm hoping it won't. We got some senators in the Senate, both Democrat and Republican, who are supportive of the cigar industry, like Senator Marco Rubio, and also Senator Rob Menendez, the Democrat from New Jersey. Actually, they just addressed the PCA's first ever policy summit or something like that, talking about upholding cigar rights. So there's a good chance it might be killed in committee. So let's hope that happens. Also, too, call your state legislators. I mean, not senators. Call your representative. Call your senators, whether they're Republican or Democrat, and express your concern. A Republican should oppose it because it's a tax raise. A Democrat should oppose it because this is going to disenfranchise low income populations. Because people who can afford fancy cigars, a $3 price increase isn't going to phase them.
But I'm sorry, I can afford an $8 cigar every day, but I would think twice before buying an $11 cigar every day.
I'm going to put it in
But-
simple terms. Okay, if you're a Democrat, you should oppose this because cigars are brown, which makes the law racist.
You're such an idiot.
And
It
on
was Roddy Bergeron.
on a serious
Roddy Bergeron, what's up, dude?
But on a serious note, though, got a lot of people who are struggling to get by, and a cigar is kind of their way to relax. But whenever you raise that $4 schizo, which by the way I'm not a fan of it, but it's some people
By the
like
way,
it.
it's kind of shitty.
But raise that $5 schizo to a $9 cigar, you're disenfranchising them, and
Yep.
so like it's wrong. You're not going to help public health with this, and all it's going to do
Also-
is just hurt people.
Also, think about this. Okay, Lindsey, tell everybody, when you have a shit day, what is something that like is just really, really something you look forward to when you get home?
Having a cigar with you?
Having a cigar. Not just with me, because the mustache is awesome, but no, just having the cigar. If you have if you have kids and you're like, I think I'm ready to say that I'm hearing voices commanding me to drown them in the bathtub.
Have a cigar.
Have a cigar. It's not like alcohol. You know, no one's like, oh my God, my husband, he's one of those guys, he would smoke a cigar and then beat the shit out of me. They don't do that. if they drink whiskey or they get hammered, then they slap you up. But if they smoke a cigar, they're all like, "What's up, life is awesome," because you're relaxed. It's great.
Unless your wife smokes your symmetries.
Unless your wife smokes your stuff, then you're just like, gotta do something. Yeah.
Although if anyone's throwing hands, it's probably gonna be me. So.
And that's also true. She's certain feisty.
I am super spicy.
She's like, it's not my fault. My jab reaches you in your balls.
And this is kind of relevant. There's actually a meme I saw to what you're all talking about, actually.
I agree with what Roddy is saying, though, about states seeing less tax revenue from tobacco tax.
That's one of the things that the left never seems to grasp, is that the way humans are, it's not a linear curve where you can just be like, all right, I'm going to tax them more. Their behavior won't change, which means I'm going to get more revenue because of my increased regulation or my increased tax. But it's not a linear thing, because humans are like a Le Chatelier system, where anytime you put pressure on the system, it'll adjust in the other direction. So if you subsidize sloth, you get more of it. If you tax something, you get less of it. So if you say we're going to tax this behavior, then people are going to find a way to do that behavior without paying the extra tax, because they're like,
we're gonna go black
I don't want to do that.
It's gonna be great.
Well, the thing is, though, is that you can't get around it because the manufacturer gets taxed, and that just carries over to the sticker price.
It's called a direct tax. It just goes right to the consumer.
Yep.
Oh, shit rolling downhill and way to bottom.
And also, too, though, go back to stealing his cigar stuff. I saw this meme, and it goes like this.
Can I just say that I don't steal his cigars? Half of them are mine by law, so I take my half.
But it's not about stealing cigars, though. But it is about American cigars. Now, and it shows this woman saying, "Now that we're married, you should give up cigars." And then the guy's like, "You're beginning to sound like my ex-wife." And then she's like, "What? You never told me you've never been married before." And he said, "I haven't."
Ouch.
Ooh.
Story of my first relationship.
Zinger. Oh, yes. So Spencer had this girlfriend, and she was like, I don't like you smoking cigars. And he said, I don't like you telling your ex-boyfriend what to do. And she was like, but you're not my ex-boyfriend. He's like, I am now, bitch. Booyah!
Yeah. But with all due respect,
he's all like, damn it, I'm gonna call her and tell her that, because that's great.
He's like, that was actually.
That was good.
That was nice.
With all due respect to her, that we left on good terms. But whoever ends up with this is gonna be a lucky guy. He just won't be lucky enough to smoke cigars.
He'll be the luckiest non-cigar smoker.
Right. Super lucky.
Like, if y'all want to know how cool cigars are as a culture, when we hung out with our friends, we never smoked cigars together. Then we started, and now it's like, if you're gonna hang out with me, we're smoking cigars. Like, there is never a time where I go hang out with friends and that doesn't happen. Do you realize, like, everything we do with our friends involves a cigar? We plan trips with our best friends, and the whole thing is like, okay, and we're gonna have cigars here first, and then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna have a cigar, and then we do that, and it's amazing.
Listen, our travel is great. We curate our food, we curate our cocktails, and you're in charge of always curating cigars. Are you bringing the jesters to Ren Fair?
All right, so I have to think about this. So here's the challenge that's been presented to me. I have to curate what cigars we're going to smoke while we're at Ren Fair, and I've been asked to make them thematically consistent.
Because we love a theme.
Because they are bougie bitches.
Because we love a theme.
And so I have to look at the cigars as far as the band and the company, and pick something that is Ren Fair appropriate. Obviously, the Jester would be amazing. The Jester is made by Vida La Vida, and it's a pretty most stores don't carry it, but a couple places do. When I was in Houston, they had it, and I got some. But
Viva La Vida,
Viva La Vida, and the cigar is called the Jester. It's a fantastic smoke, and I have to give credit where credit is due. My boy out in California, he got me hooked up on them. He sent me some over there, and they're just phenomenal. They're great sticks, and I picked some up.
Did I have one Friday?
You had one when we were going to New Orleans. Oh no, the next day.
No, I started it in New Orleans and then finished it the next day.
So that's one, because it's got a really cool gesture with the skull head. That would be kind of Ren Fair because the gesture's Ren Fair. But I don't know. I got to figure out. I haven't decided yet, but it's a big burden that's placed on my shoulders.
Yeah, I do everything else, and he just picks cigars. It also keeps him out of the way. It's really nice.
Would you like me to
Dual
bring it in?
purpose. What?
Would you like me to bring it in?
The jester?
Hell yeah, dude.
You can try. No promises, but it comes from AJ. So.
And that's why you need to find yourself
A cigar guy.
a cigar guy.
Like
okay?
Spence.
Like Spence. I know he tells a lot of people that he wants to be their cigar guy, but he really doesn't. Like, for instance, Chris Hargrave, he told him he wanted to be a cigar guy. But does he go and work hard to supply everything he wants? No.
He probably would.
He really doesn't.
He probably
Sorry,
would.
Chris, but no. But like, I say I like a cigar.
You
Next thing
probably
it is up
do,
on the shelf, but
Spence.
just like, look what I got for you. I'm like, oh my God.
Chris and Alex just have a I don't know.
I supplied
A constant fight about whose cigar guy you really are.
I supplied Chris with more of this than you.
Oh wow. No.
That's why, yeah. But I am still a cigar guy. I'm waiting for him, but he has to get the green light from the wife.
I so very rarely give you the red light.
More like a blinking red light.
Well, and that's not the thing. Like, it was just a yellow light. It really was. It was just like a, hey, cautionary. You're spending a lot of our money on cigars every month. Maybe you might want to roll back a little bit.
And I tell her every single time, it's Spencer's fault, all of it, because every time he sends me text messages and he includes pictures because he's a dick of all the new stuff that comes in, and I'm like, it looks really good. And he's like, I'm holding these for you. You want, like, people want to buy these, and I'm saying no because I know you need these, and I'm like, I do.
You might have to follow a restraining order.
I do need those, and so it's getting to the point where like I every time I go to hang out with him, I'm just like, it's like he's gonna just grab money out of my bank account and just take it because
Essentially what he does.
that's what happens. And the thing is, it's so misleading because he's so small and diminutive that you would never be like, this guy's gonna rob me, but then he does. You just.
Hey, your cigar looks like shit, dude. You blew it up. What did you do?
Because it broke at the cap when I cut it, and it just started ripping more and more, and like the whole wrapper's coming
Why
out.
don't you show the audience how Alex does not respect the cigar?
Oh, this was not me disrespecting the cigar
Bullshit.
in any
It's
fashion.
disrespectful.
But see, it looks fine. It looks fine. It looks fine. It's fine.
Alex is
I use-
disrespectful AF to his cigars.
No.
He is.
No one
Yep.
knows. No one knows
Yep.
anything.
I use the same cutter and I'm smoking the same cigar. I don't know what his excuse is.
I use the same
I
cutter,
don't have that
also
problem.
smoking the same cigar. Or
What?
not. I'm not smoking the same cigar. But I am smoking
Nope.
a similar cigar, and I use the same cutter, so I feel like Alex is just as bullshit. Like usual.
All right. This is about as good a time as any to realize there is a lot of anti-autistic bigotry in the world, and that's really what we're dealing with here. Is they're just judging.
I didn't realize that having autism made it impossible for you to smoke a cigar.
Look, we don't have many cards, all right? We get mags with puzzle pieces on. People were like, "What's the puzzle for?" And we're like, "We don't fucking know. We don't know." But
Actually, you know what? That has been that is phasing out as the autism marker
what is it going to be now?
puzzle piece.
Probably one of those like plushy, squishy pillows.
Oh God, the Squishmallows.
Squishmallows,
they're
yeah.
so comfortable.
What's that?
They're these giant. So we call them floofies. They're giant stuffed animals that are filled with like this kind of fiber that is like real.
It doesn't really change the cut, Garrett. It doesn't. I mean, the draw really is based on how it's constructed, how it's rolled. If it's like a box press, you can cut with a toothpick and it'll still pull great. A lot of times the hand roll ones, they have variable draws, and so it just kind of depends. So
Yeah. Most of the time it's a good draw, but if someone messed up in the factory because they're moving too fast, you might have that problem. But typically it's rare. Also, too, if your cigars are dehumidified, that can happen too, because moisture causes leaves to expand.
what I want to say before we close and move on, there seemed to be a lot of excitement about the the whole idea of like a mystery cigar. And I'd had other guys approach me and ask me like, hey, let's do something where we just present you with stuff.
We're gonna keep doing it until it's done.
We're gonna keep doing
It's gonna be a thing.
it. This was really fun. I was shitting bricks. I was so nervous before this because I know what she knows, and she knows what I know, and she knows how to fuck with me, and I did not have a clue what this was. I talked with Spencer beforehand about what it might be, and I thought Rocky Patel was where this was going to go, because she was like, I'm going to pick a brand you're familiar with, because obviously, like, if I pick something really, really obscure like a Septimo, then you've never had it before, that would be really unfair. So I was like, all right, Rocky's like, she knows I've been smoking Rockies for a really long time, but she knew them my father, and I had no idea. It was very nerve-wracking. I was scared to death. So I'll do it again. I can't believe I was able to figure it out, but I have no problem doing this to where I get embarrassed, because I'm sure.
Bro, I'm like,
it'll happen.
I am shocked.
I'm really scared for the next time, because now she's gonna go fucking balls out to stump me. It's gonna get stupid.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna get progressively harder.
Oh my god.
Okay, I already picked my next one.
Oh, she already picked the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Well,
it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one.
And now I'm gonna go in. Now that I know how you picked that one, I'm gonna go pick one that you won't be able to tell by the construction of it.
She's gonna like drop it and break it all up. And,
yeah, I'm gonna like chop it up and be like, here, smoke it out of a pipe and see if you can do it.
Jeez Louise.
You can use some cigarette paper and wrap the cigar with the cigarette paper.
Right.
Just so you can't see the wrapper.
This is not fair. This is not fair.
We live to just be not fair to you.
That's a little bit not fair. That's fine.
All right. We closing out or what?
Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and sharing the experience of a blind taste test. The reason why I thought it was important that we do this is because I'd read studies about with wine and with bourbons or whiskeys that the stratification amongst experts, the opinions of different whiskeys and or wines, that what separates like a really, really expensive bottle from a cheap bottle, that really it's almost psychological, because when they're put to a blind taste test, they can't tell the difference in a good wine or a bad wine. It really is just mostly power of suggestion. You're expecting certain things. If you're primed to like something, you're going to want to like it more than if you're primed to think it's shit. And so knowing that's the ability of the human mind to deceive itself, I was really, really scared. But I think this is a really good exercise, because it's worth noting, what do people think about a cigar if they have no preconceived notions, if they don't know anything about it, and there's a website, I think it's called like 3 Blind Mice or something, where it's 3 different guys and they smoke a cigar. They take all the banding off of it and they smoke it, and they give their honest opinion of it. And it's really great because they have no bias, because they don't know what it is, and they just talk about the construction, the burn, the smoke, and the taste all the way through. And it's some of the best opinions you can find, because on Cigar Aficionado, there's a lot of issues of whether or not they're being influenced by advertisers and stuff like that. So it's just like whatever. So we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna get harder and harder. I would imagine eventually we're gonna go all the way through different lines.
Eventually we're gonna go all the way for sure.
So we'll see. But I want to thank the merchant for hosting, Spencer for answering questions and tell us what's going on. And I'm gonna go get some opuses. And John, we're so thrilled you didn't die. We thought you were gonna, because you're a dumbass and you weren't listening to what we were saying. But we're glad you're good. And we can't wait to have you back so that we can call you gay on camera and not just through a screen. So with that said, John's over there. He's a gentleman. And I'm Alex Stanford. And I'm the scholar. And that's Lindsey. And she's the one everybody sends the dick pics to. That's fine. Oof. Don't send them to me, because
although you know what?
I'll be really mean.
It's so easy now, because I don't even open them. You know how like Facebook censors them?
Oh, that's right.
Facebook censors them. I just don't even open them. Great.
I will say that one of the perks that I got that was also for my birthday, I put in one of our groups, hey, you guys like the pictures we send? It's my birthday. Send me something. And this guy was like, okay. And he sent me DMs of his wife's boobs, and they were really cool. And I was like, woohoo. Anyway, so until next time, keep it smoky, guys, and we love you. And ciao.